I know people who live check to check, and because they think they make or earn a certain amount of money, they don't see no problem. They not even thinking family. They're not thinking about saving for family because he just out here, he's living his life. But now he runs into a woman that makes him think like that. Now he runs into a woman that makes him change the way his thought process. See, when you thinking for self, you thinking just selfishly and what you can worry about yourself. You don't got to worry about children because you don't got no children. You're not worrying about a woman because you like, I'm out here, I'm making X, Y, and Z, these chicks on me. And you just thinking about running through women, not trying to keep a woman. But then you run into a woman that changed your whole thought process on the way how you view life. And so then now you behind the 8 ball because you was just thinking selfishly. You, at the end of the day,
you don't know what you don't know, though. That's the thing.
That's why we on here talking, mistaken.
You haven't been married, Rio?
Talking right now. That's
why.
Well,
that's what I'm trying to say. You don't know what you don't know, and so a person's experience is going to dictate how they move. So if you grew up where in one, which is typically a single-led household, and you see your mother living, she's taking care of the bills. So in terms of financial understanding, that's probably as much as you would know until you're exposed to something different. So my level of understanding of taking care of finances is I make enough money, I make sure all my bills are paid. I'm good, because that's an environment in which you may have grown up in until they meet somebody like maybe one of you guys. And then just happen to, because I wouldn't even know anything about a financial advisor. What's that? So I wouldn't even know where to go seek that information if I don't know. But I might meet a young lady like Tim and, oh, hey, how you doing, or whatever, we talking, and then finances come up. And then she may say something to me that say, oh, I didn't even know anything about that. And then that sparks the learning process. I think that's what Rashaan Ali was saying, is that if you don't know, you can't expect me to be on point with something that I'm not even aware of.
But I see both of their points, though. I think to Rio's point, he's saying like, you have to be accountable for yourself. So if you don't have anybody teaching you this, at some point you have to learn. So for me, credit, I didn't have anybody to teach me about credit when I was younger. So I went through the process of messing up my credit. And then I had to learn the hard way, the real importance of credit. And then it was something that went off inside of me. It was nothing that nobody brought to my attention, nothing that anybody taught me, made me aware. It was something that I made aware of myself. And I was like, okay, this is extremely important. Let me get on top of this and let me fix it. And it was something that I fixed for myself, but I didn't have anyone to say, hey, I noticed that, your credit isn't up to par. Let's fix your credit. It has to be some type of...
How did you hear about credit to begin with?
It's a typical thing. Everybody knows.
As an adult.
That's what I'm saying. For me, it wasn't typical.
Okay, so what I'll say is this, though.
But in all honesty, mistaken, we live in a different time. It's rare that you will not find.
Right. Well, look at the school system. We teach kids, right? And I have actually, like, the financial literacy classes, those are optional classes. So if you're in a specific school that even offers that as an elective, then yes, you may know. But a lot of the schools that I have been in, like when I used to work in Harlem, when I lived in New York, that wasn't something that was being offered because of the population of students that there was. If they're low economic student, you're going to have a lot of programs that focus on remedial. We can't even get to those options at that level in some of those schools. So when you're in and I'm not saying that all Black people are in poverty. I'm just speaking from the population of students that I've worked with and where I've been myself in my own education. I never took a financial literacy class. I didn't hear about credit score until I got to college. And, when they try to give you the credit cards. So at that point, I actually learned from my sister who was ahead of me in college that told me about it. So
I understand that too, mistaken. But I think Shantae is actually, I think you're proving Shantae's point. She's saying we're in different times. People aren't coming out of high school getting married anymore. They're experiencing they're experiencing adult life first. You know what I mean? And if you look at the marriage rates, it shows. I mean, we're not marrying young anymore. And so what's the excuse for the person who's 35? You know what I'm saying? And so that's all we're saying here. I understand we're at an extreme disadvantage. I have a lot of thoughts about what we need to be doing in high school. Trust me. Like, a lot of thoughts. But you know what I mean? But and then maybe we would marry younger. There's some solutions out there. I'm with you. But I'm just speaking to where we are now. If we were just to look at people, who are grown, who have, who've worked for 10 years, have 401ks, have been paying bills, and look at their credit score. You can look at your credit score everywhere nowadays. You know what I mean? So that's what we're talking about. But I understand our high school. I'm not even looking at them.
Listen, and I wanted to say, I hope it's not being mistaken that I'm not talking about accountability. I agree with the accountability part, bro. One of my favorite things that I'll say, that I coin, accountability is allergic to the immature. So I understand the accountability part. However, the point that I was trying to make, I know people who live check to check, and because they think they make or earn a certain amount of money, they don't see no problem. They not even thinking family. They're not thinking about saving for family, because he's just out here, he's living his life. But now he runs into a woman that makes him think like that. Now he runs into a woman that makes him change the way his thought process. See, when you thinking for self, you thinking just selfishly and what you can worry about yourself. You don't got to worry about children because you don't got no children. You're not worrying about a woman because you like, I'm out here, I'm making X, Y, Z, these chicks on me. And you just thinking about running through women, not trying to keep a woman. But then you run into a woman that changed your whole thought process on the way how you view life. And so then now you behind the 8 ball because you was just thinking selfishly. You at the end of the day. And now you starting to worry about family and the whole 9 yards because you can see family or marriage with this particular girl or this woman. And now that from that courting process or that conversation that he's having with her, that's how things happen. Even the way we view life is based upon information or the things that we see or just talking to other people. Rather you talking to your parents as a child, and then you trying to grasp from experience or what you experience and what you being taught from your parents, from your teachers, from what you watch on TV, what you hearing on radio, is all shaping the way how you view life. And hopefully that you are doing some action items based upon the way how you view life. But some people just, I know that, but they're not doing nothing about it. That's the accountability part that I agree with you about, bro. But some people just think that they are right. You view it different. But one brother like, man, I make $150,000 a year, but I know he living check to check. And from him, he thinking, man, I got the loft on the water, the whole 9 yards. I got my nice whip. He think he's all right. But because you probably, we are more mature in certain areas than others. And and that's the point that I'm trying to make, that people come with a set of problems, and hopefully that the person that you meet can offset some of your problems and you can offset some of her problems. That's the only point that I was trying to make. I did not try to take away from accountability.
I feel you. And I really like that scenario. I really like that scenario because, so one, I got 2 thoughts about that. One,
can you make them
the guy that you described towards the end, it seems like he has high socioeconomic status, right? So it seems like there's going to be a lot of options for him to begin with, right? You know that.
He got a lot of
options. Now, on the other side of the coin, for the guy who doesn't make as much money as him, but who is inspired by the woman that you described, in that same process of him saving up for her ring, right? Thinking about their future, planning that life together. If he's really inspired, he starts working on that credit during the dating process too. This doesn't just happen overnight. In most cases, You know what I mean? So just as well as you can put the coins aside to get that ring, you can also be paying off some of that debt, right? Because you know that y'all gonna need to get a mortgage, right? So you are thinking and you are processing how this is going, how you're going to build a life together.
Planning.
So it's planning. So a man without a plan, come on, right? And so,
right.
You feel me? So at that point, you know what I mean? Don't put the cart before the horse. Do that work and then propose.